Hello, and welcome back to Uniquely You Coaching with me, Kelly, your weight loss and transformation coach. Each week, I teach you simple, sustainable ways to find freedom. I keep things very plain and very simple. You'll learn how to quit eating to cope, how to stop beating yourself up when you aren't perfect, how to turn to the Lord for your strength instead of relying on your own willpower. Once you nip that in the bud, and then your transformation is going to be so much easier. My goal on this channel is to help you build an awesome life, one that you have only dreamed about. If you're ready to get off that hamster wheel, off that cycle, then let's do this together. This week, I'm going to be talking about change. Is it possible for you? At the beginning of the new year, you may have been much like me and thousands of others who wanted to make some changes in their lives. Well, here we are. We are in August. This is actually August the 18th of 2024. We're over halfway through the year. And many people, many of us, including myself, may be in the same place that we were in January to some degree in some area of our life, whether that's weight, whether that's paying off debt, whether that is spending more time in prayer, spending more time in the Bible, or something that is just unique to you. There is nothing more frustrating than wanting to change, than trying to change, than needing to change, but not actually changing. Believe me, I know the frustration of that. I tried for so many years, more years than I can count. Probably more than half of my life, to be honest, in trying to change the way I looked and trying to change the way I felt about myself. Spending lots of time on lots of diets and doing all the things. So when I was in high school, I remember back in high school, many years ago, I was planning to go on my senior trip. And my cousin and I were going to go to Disney World for 3 days. And then we were going to go on a 3-day cruise. So I was already struggling so hard with my weight, and I was trying to diet, and it just wasn't working. I just was not losing very much weight. So I decided, well, I'm going to start going to the tanning bed, and I'm going to be the darkest among the group. If I cannot be, I was already so self-conscious about what I looked like. I did not want to be this pale, pasty girl who is in the middle of all these bronzed, fit people. At least, the least I could do was have this beautiful glow of a tan. And so I worked really hard on that. That whole, from January until May, the end of May, when we went on our trip. And I got my nails done. I did my hair. I was always getting my hair done. I was always doing these things, not just when I was planning for that trip, but all through my teenage years, doing all these things so that I would feel like I measured up. Back in the 90s, telling my age here, I guess you can kind of figure it by the things that I've said, but back in the 90s, there was the big hair days. And I used so much hairspray. Any of you relate to what it was like to, have the big hair and the hairspray, enough hairspray to put a hole in the ozone? But one thing I did have going for me, my hair is naturally curly, so I could get some really, really big hair going. But as we grow up, I was doing all those things so that I could fit in, so that I could feel like I was a part, so I didn't feel like I was an outcast to my peers. And as we grow up, we still kind of do the same thing. It just looks a little different. Like now as you get older, you get that college degree, you get that business degree, even though that might not be what you really want. Maybe you enjoy baking. Maybe you can have a baking business. I know I had a friend who her daughter was a great baker. She was like 16 years old. She baked, and she would take her baked goods. She would make like homemade cakes and homemade cupcakes and homemade granola. I mean, she was a great baker. And she would take her baked goods to like these fresh markets, like the outside vendors where they had, different people come in that had fresh baked goods, homemade things. And she made a really good amount of money. But her mom insisted that she get a degree. And I can understand, but what if she just allowed her daughter to just and to nurture that gift that she had? Who's to say that she couldn't be the next Sister Schubert's, you know? So, but because of those things, maybe it's climbing a corporate ladder. Maybe that is something that is expected of you, but what you really want to do is be a mom or the PTA president at your child's school. Do you go into debt in order to go on elaborate vacations or buy, the fanciest car? Every 2 years you get a new car. Buy the biggest house. All because you want to feel like you matter. All because you want to feel like you have a sense of value and keeping up with the Joneses, so to speak. But you still feel empty inside. You want to change and you want to live your authentic self. And there's nothing wrong. There's absolutely nothing wrong with having a college degree. There's nothing wrong with having a nice house. There's nothing wrong with having a nice car. But if you're going at that, if you're going at those things, look at the motive behind those things. Why? Why do you feel like you have to have the nicest car, the best clothes, the biggest house? Why? What is behind that? Because external things, they might feel good in a moment and make you feel that sense of maybe that dopamine hit in the moment, make you feel like you're, loved and valued for what you have. But it's not going to last. So whether we're teens, whether we're adults, the method, it seems to be the same. Changing the behavior, like going on a strict diet to lose the weight, cutting up your credit cards so you don't go into debt, deeper in debt, waking up early for some quiet time. I mean, we've got great intentions. Can you relate to that? You have really great intentions to do these things. But then a couple of months, just like in January, couple of months, maybe not even a couple of months, you're right back into those old patterns, those old habits, repeating the same cycle over and over again. But you know what? You're not alone. You're not alone in the struggle. Even in the Bible, Paul mentions in Romans about doing the things that he doesn't want to do. And maybe you're like I was when I was trying to change, but it just didn't work. We want to change and we want our lives to be different and we long for more. And the fact of the matter is, some of us have tried really hard. Really hard. We hadn't just sat around doing nothing. It's not like we're just sitting here twiddling our thumbs and just, hoping that change is going to fall, because we really, you've been on all the diets and you've done all the things that maybe you set your alarm early. You're going to try to do this. You get up and then a couple of days pass by. You're like, this week I'm going to do this. This is going to happen. This week we set really, really good intentions. And then you do it, and then you go back and fall back into the same pattern, the same rut. And then you end up feeling exhausted, whether that's physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and you're just like at your wit's end. You just throw your hands up and you're like, I have had enough. Now, does this mean that you're not ever going to change? Absolutely not. It does not mean that you're going to be stuck in this same cycle forever. It doesn't have to be. That doesn't have to be the case for you. But we have to figure out the why. Why do you keep reverting back to those old patterns? Because that's going to be huge if you're going to move forward. Most people, I know me, I still do this. I still have to work on this. We go through life on autopilot. We go through life on autopilot, not realizing that our thoughts lead to our beliefs, lead to how we feel, our emotions, lead to our actions, and that ends up with our result, which is our life. And that's why when we try to change, we cannot use outside methods. We just can't. Things like more money, bigger houses, fancier cars, just like I was talking about, they never satisfy. Have you experienced this in your life? Have you ever thought, well, when I get this big fancy house, when I get this new car, when I get this new job, when I lose all this weight, my life is going to be completely different. You get the new job, you get the new house, and you get the new car, and you lose some weight, and it still doesn't satisfy. It doesn't. Material things and behavior modification do not last very long. Because once you get that new car, that feeling that you have, it goes away so quick. That's why the majority of lottery winners, if you've ever watched anything, there's a documentary, it was not too long ago that it was on, about lottery winners and where they were, before, and then they won the money, and then where they are. And the majority of those people that win lots of money, within a year or two, they're back in the same situation. I mean, they thought that money was going to make their life better. They're like, here I am. I've got all this money. I'm going to have this amazing life. I'm going to be able to buy the things that I need. I'm going to be able to help the people that I want to help. I'll be able to give money here and give money there and do all that. Buy all of these things that I have just been dreaming about. But then they turn around and it's all gone. All gone. Because what was outside changed. The circumstance might have changed, but this didn't. There's a study that was done on people that were millionaires. And they didn't just study millionaires. They studied people that were millionaires and then had lost their money and then became millionaires again. And what they found was the people that were millionaires, lost the money, and then became millionaires again, did not believe that money made them wealthy. They believed that they were wealthy. They did not believe that they were wealthy because they had money. They believed they had money because they were wealthy. And wealthy is a mindset. It is a mindset. There was also another study that was done about people. If everybody, they took, I think it was like 10,000 people, they all gave them like $5,000. And in a matter of time, they documented these people. Within a matter of time, the people that were, I think they were wealthy people, and then there were a gamut of people. So it wasn't like they just did wealthy people, middle class people. They did all kinds of people. The people that started out with $5,000 that were wealthy and had a different mindset still had their $5,000. But the people that did not know what to do and how to do things, how to manage their money, they ended up losing it all, like those lottery winners. It is a mindset. It is a mindset. And change comes when you change the way you think. It takes place in your mind. Transformation takes place in your mind first. Romans 12:2 says we are transformed by changing the way that we think, not by trying harder. Change happens when you look at what is happening on the inside. Just like with these people, these lottery winners and these other people that had the money. Because your thoughts and your emotions lead to a change in your behavior. It just happens from the inside out. You can change. Believe me, you can change any part of your life that you want to. Because if this girl can change, I am telling you, anyone can change. And there are a few tips that I want to give you that will be able to help you do that. One is you don't have permanent change because you go about it the wrong way. That's why you're not seeing permanent change. So choose one simple thing. You don't have to throw it all away. You don't have to, overdo your whole life in one day. Choose one simple step, one simple thing that will make the biggest impact in your life to move forward. This might be, if you're trying to pay off debt, you may, when all your friends are going to the mall, going shopping, we're having a girls' day out and we're going to go shopping. If you know that you're not going to be able to withhold yourself, restrain yourself, and not spend money because you're working to get out of debt, simply say no thank you, not today. Because you're moving in the direction. It means saying no to something that doesn't align with the direction in which you want to go and what you want to accomplish. And no is a complete sentence. You don't have to say no, but blah, 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 blah. You don't have to do that. You can choose to do that if you want to. They're your friends. And explain to them, I just can't do that right now. I just can't do that today. Today is just not the best day for me to do that. I'm not in a good headspace. But no is a complete sentence. And two is we can learn that change is possible. If there's a dream or the desire that's in your heart and you want to change, look people up on YouTube. Look up documentaries. Listen to testimonies. Listen to stories of people that have the outcome that you want. See how they got there. See how their mindset was. How they moved from one place to the other. That's going to build faith in your heart. It's going to build that faith in your heart to know that if it happened for them, it can happen for you too. And the third thing is you don't have to do this alone. Never. You don't have to do it alone. Join a group of like-minded women who are working on that same thing. The motivation and support that you get inside a community, it's not like anything else. We're not meant to walk this life alone. We're not. When you get in isolation and you get and not want to tell somebody like really what's going on with you, that's not a good place to be. It's in the dark. You can only grow and change when you're in the light. And locking arms with people that are doing the same thing, going in the same direction, they can lend you support. It's the best thing. We're not made to walk this life alone. And I would like to invite you to join my free Facebook group, Weight Loss Made Simple, dropping the physical and the mental weight. And this is part of that mental weight. We come alongside other women, the women in there, come alongside them, join them as they're changing their lives from the inside out. If you are ready to start living the amazing life that you've been dreaming about, you've been just hoping about. And start believing that you have inside you what it takes to change, because you are worth it. You are absolutely worth it. So I want to thank you for tuning in today, and remember that your current situation does not determine your future. It doesn't. Absolutely not. If you found that this video is valuable, would like for you to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. And I want to invite you also to check out my group membership program, Uniquely You Life. And this group membership, it will empower you to move forward in your life, the one you've always dreamed about. It's a faith-focused approach. And my coaching is for women of all ages, whether you need help in your weight loss, in your self-confidence, or whether you're just wanting to walk in your authentic self. That self that you wear a mask, because you don't have to wear a mask anymore. You can walk in the authentic version of you, because you are one of a kind. And all of these areas of your life have one thing in common, and that is mindset. So once you change your mindset, then you're going to be able to change your future, because transformation is an inside job. And there's going to be a link in the description box below for more details. I also have a food freedom quiz if you would like to take that I'd love to send you, so you can discover where you may be stuck and move you forward in your weight loss journey. And I know that's weight loss, but I do the whole gamut. So if you want to start with weight, that's the place to go right there. So thanks again for watching. It means so very much to me. So until next week, I'm going to leave you with this quote by Roy T. Bennett. He says, "You never change your life until you step out of your comfort zone. Change begins at the end of your comfort zone." See you next time. Bye.